YouTube has a lot of content creators on its platform. About 2 billion people are on this thing, so there's bound to be problems. And so far, YouTubers themselves have done a pretty good job at pointing out the toxic YouTubers. People like Jake Paul and Ricegum have gotten shit on constantly, and that allows for their reputation to fall with them. But I want to talk about some YouTubers that I don't think a lot of people will have a ton of problems with, except for one of them. I don't want to talk about these douchey, annoying guys. Well, I do, but it's just one of them. But the rest are YouTubers that I describe as good and generally aren't damaging to YouTube, even though I still have problems with them. One YouTube channel I want to talk about, which is the not as good one, is the Dobre Brothers channel. If you haven't heard of the Dobre Brothers, I am so sorry that I have to introduce them to you. They are the haha funny get pranked idiot creators that specialize in pranks that are either fake or just fucking annoying.
Bro, what was up with that? That's a good reaction, actually, right?
Like they pranked their parents by sending both of them into some water. So that's all well and good. No, it isn't, but that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is a video from a while ago, which is called Is It Real or Is It Chocolate? And before anyone wants to say that this isn't valid criticism because the video was released like 3 years ago and people can change, I would agree, but the Dobre Brothers haven't changed, like, at all. One of their most recent videos is called Girls vs. Boys Twister Gone Wild, and it has one of the guys in the thumbnail staring at a girl's ass. So yeah, I don't think the douchiness part of them has changed, so this is absolutely valid. The chocolate video was trending when it came out, so a lot of people clicked on it and realized that it was really boring. The concept is that there's a bunch of chocolate tools, and some of them are made of chocolate and others aren't. It sounds like a nice, wacky, fun video, but then you realize that none of the guys in the video have much personality, and the concept isn't fleshed out at all, and the video is really boring because of it.
Lucas, maybe you should go next because you're so hard-headed.
But one of the main things I want to touch on is the concept. Eating things that shouldn't be edible and finding out that it's chocolate sounds fun. It doesn't sound super interesting, but it's just a nice, fun thing to do. But I think the bigger problem is that lots of people won't be able to do this. It just isn't worth the amount of money to get a bunch of stuff that isn't chocolate, but it could be chocolate, and then you make it chocolate. And I feel like the Dobre Brothers are one of those channels that give you this thrill of adventure feel. It's a channel that will make a kid go,
"What? They went into a spooky hotel? That sounds like a fun adventure."
OMG, they rescued a lost puppy? That sounds like such a great adventure.
"Wow, one of their girlfriends got a new ass." Wait, what the fuck? And then you actually watch their videos and they're fucking terrible. And it's because a lot of their videos are just lazy and effortless. Like this spooky hotel room that isn't even spooky. One of the guys says, "This place is sketch."
This is actually crazy, bro. This is sketch.
And it just looks like a normal hotel. Then the climax, the big finale, if you will, is just a regular guy telling them to get out, and then they all get out.
What are you guys doing? Go. Out of here. It's like the movie. Let's just never do this again, alright? Never. Yeah, Get away! That was a close one, guys.
Or they have videos that just exploits what kids want. Like there's a bunch of things that involve kissing. They have this cringe last to stop kissing wins $10,000 challenge video that should be thrown into the nearest fire. They have a video literally called Be the Hero. And if superheroes being the most popular thing in the world has taught me anything, it's that kids want to be the hero. So what we've got are all of these exploitative titles and thumbnails that are aimed at kids, and yet the videos just hurt everyone's mental health because of how boring they are. But I think to kids, they already have that fake feeling of adventure. I think a lot of channels have that kind of "we went into a spooky place" vibe, even though it's just a regular hotel, and that sucks. MrBeast has a bit of the feeling of adventure thing, but it seems a lot more genuine, unlike the Dobre Brothers, who really just aren't very genuine. A lot of their videos just end up being very fake and aimed at kids, even though it shouldn't be aimed at kids, like the sexual content and the weird stuff. And that's the good thing about MrBeast, is because he doesn't do any of that weird sexual content. He doesn't do any of that like super exploitative stuff, but there is still problems behind him. Now I wanted to move on and talk about MrBeast, who is like the good version of insane stuff on YouTube. I'm sure that pretty much all of you know who MrBeast is, so I'll make this brief. Basically, he does these videos that sound insane, but the best part is that he actually does them instead of faking them. Like walking a marathon in the world's biggest shoes is something that he actually does instead of just faking it for views. He also donates a shit ton of money to charity and tries to help as many people as possible, which often results in giving them lots of money. So what's my problem with him? Two things mainly. Money is basically the driving force behind why his channel is so popular in the first place, which I'll talk about why it's a problem later. First, I want to say that his videos have a very similar pattern as the Dobre Bros, where his thumbnails and titles sound exciting and insane and adventurous. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if the content is good, but what ends up happening is similar to the Dobre Bros videos. MrBeast's videos end up being pretty boring, unfortunately. Or at least they end up being a lot less interesting than they initially sound. Take one of his most recent videos for example. Would you swim with sharks for $100,000? In it, he has Chris jump into some water where sharks are wandering around for $100,000 to give to one of Chris's fans. And that's pretty much the whole concept of the video, but it ends up being less interesting than the thumbnail makes it seem. The video's title and thumbnail both make you think of this dangerous scenario where someone would be swimming with sharks to collect a shit ton of money, and if that person screws up, they die or get wounded. And the swimming with sharks part does happen, but there's never any real sense of danger. MrBeast isn't going to let his friends die, not only because they're his friends, but also because he'd get in a ton of trouble for it, and all of a sudden the tension is ruined. I'm not saying he should kill one of his friends for content. That sounds a little extreme. What I'm saying is that his videos end up being a lot less interesting than a thumbnail makes them seem. Chris just jumps in the water with intense music in the background and then climbs out with the money. Nothing interesting really happens, and if you take out the intense music, there's almost no tension left. Even the world's most dangerous escape room video doesn't live up to its name. The majority of the video is spent going through a ton of these rooms that are admittedly very cool. I specifically like this upside down room a lot, but there's nothing really dangerous about the majority of these rooms because they can't make it super dangerous and accidentally kill someone. The only dangerous thing is the TNT part where it's an actual explosion, but MrBeast has to give them a heads up and says that they have to run so the suspense is ruined.
Second he shoots it, we need to run. Just run right after you shoot it.
Hey, future me again. I just wanted to touch on the spike room because I know people are going to bring it up in the comments. For those of you who don't know, there's this insanely slow wall that encloses in on MrBeast's friends with spikes. And I want to point out that it's extremely slow. It never feels super dangerous or anything. MrBeast can shut it off at any time. I just don't feel danger from it. That maybe other people do. I don't. And the rest of the rooms don't have any danger in them. The key room specifically comes to mind because all they have to do is open a door. This is the world's most dangerous escape room. Where's the flaming arrows flying at you? Where's the giant dam that's infested with piranhas that you have to swim through to get to the other side? Well, he can't put any of that in because it's really fucking dangerous. But these rooms don't have anything dangerous about them in the first place. I guess you could say the key area is just a rest area, but no other room really makes me feel danger either. The only other slightly dangerous room is the snake room, but they're not going to be aggressive because, again, no friend die. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of MrBeast's videos lack that excitement and tension that could make them so much better. It makes sense, but the thumbnails and titles always feel kind of misleading almost. A lot of his videos are carried by this intense music. Seriously, whoever is editing the intense music in the videos needs a raise. And I hate that. It's not something awesome like this journey that MrBeast took to become the best at like something very specific. Let's say he wanted to become the best gymnast of all time and has this insanely interesting room with all these ridiculous obstacles to avoid and climb to get to the end of the video. Not for money, but instead for proving that he's the best gymnast. All of a sudden, the video would go from this semi-interesting video to this, "Oh, MrBeast did a triple backflip, holy shit!" But that will never happen because that takes a lot of time and practice, and it's just kind of sad because it seems like his videos are always going to be these things that look really cool on paper, but the execution just isn't as cool. MrBeast also talks about money a lot, which can get really annoying really fast.
There's over $100,000 inside of this bank vault. $100,000 golden ice cream. I'm in front of a restaurant with a $100,000 check. Giant $100,000 diamond.
It's the goal of almost every video he makes. It's a constant reminder of how rich he is and how much he gives away, which is good, but just because it's a good deed doesn't let it escape the annoying feeling. For me, I think one of the main reasons that it's annoying is that a ton of kids watch his videos, and kids love money. So MrBeast just making money a big point in his videos becomes annoying, and it's even worse that his formula for his videos never changes. All of his videos go in a very similar pattern, which is he shouts at you to get your attention,
Recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life.
tells you he's giving away a shit ton of money,
Wins 456 grand.
and then he makes someone do something for entertainment.
Red light. Oh, yo, they're dropping.
And it's especially annoying that, you know, he's giving away money to people, which makes me feel like I can't critique him on that. Critiques are good, and not pointing out what could be improved seems wrong. It's also ironic that he's the same person that says being successful on YouTube is skill when he constantly has other people doing things for his videos. Some of the videos, like the Squid Game video or the dodgeball video, it doesn't feel as much like his videos. It feels like more he's the host to someone else's experience. But let's go back to that talk about YouTube being skill or luck based.
It's 99% skill.
I personally hate whenever someone says that YouTube is skill-based, like getting successful on YouTube is skill-based, because it's not true at all. Even on Ludwig's video where he tried to prove that YouTube isn't luck, he still fails, and yet a ton of comments act like he succeeded. If you don't know, another popular creator named Ludwig made a video to prove that YouTube is not luck-based. It's skill-based. And basically in the video, he donated $50 to a really popular streamer, hoping that that streamer will watch his video, which he succeeds in that. But it baffles me that people think that this is proof that YouTube is skill-based. Guys, he didn't even fucking edit the video.
And then I hired an editor, and this also is not something you have to do at home. You could just, you know, get editing tools. What?
On top of praying that Mizkif actually accepts the $50 donation.
Oh, I hope this works. Otherwise, such a waste of 50 bucks. And all it came down to was good content, good thumbnailing, good titling, and also, admittedly, a smart way to get it in front of people who are interested in this type of content.
Ludwig would have failed if Mizkif didn't accept the $50 donation. Mizkif just not watched the video, and the video was on Mizkif exclusively, so there's even more reason for Mizkif to watch the video. But not everyone wants to devote their channel to a very specific YouTuber or just like covering other people. So it's also really annoying when MrBeast comes in and says that YouTube isn't luck. There are skill-based things on YouTube like making a good thumbnail or making a good title, but it comes down to luck no matter what. You could make the best video in the world, but if the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it, you won't go anywhere. You could promote it to another area like Reddit, but even then, some subreddits just straight up don't allow self-promotion, and there's no guarantee that it will work with the YouTube algorithm anyway. And someone could just as easily make a video recording their cat and it just gets millions of views. It's very much luck-based, even if there are some skill aspects involved. And if I had to guess, MrBeast believes that it's skill-based because of how he grew. I remember that he grew on YouTube because of his ridiculous challenge videos where he just sits down and does something for like 100,000 times or 1 million times, counts a number or whatever, but that still isn't skill-based. Anyone, well, besides anyone with a speech impediment, pretty much anyone can do that. It's just a matter of, do I want to do this and do I want to be known by this? And for example, in my case, I don't. want to be. If I can briefly jump over to that cesspool TikTok over here, there are some creators on there that just straight up do the same thing that MrBeast does, except they record the last like 20 minutes of it. So the number is at like 980,000 or something, and so all they have to do is count 20,000. Oh, but where'd the other stuff go? Well, there's no footage because they didn't count that high, and yet those videos or live streams are extremely popular. That is not okay. And finally, we're at the biggest reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. PewDiePie. In my opinion, PewDiePie's content has gotten a lot lazier over the years. He's gone from funny Let's Player guy to just reacting to videos, which feels like the meta of YouTube right now. But the thing that actually drove me over the edge to make this video was when PewDiePie uploaded "Can't Believe Markiplier Did This to Me." When this video came out, I was pretty upset, and I made a bit of a script when the video came out, which was on May 18th. Hopefully my points are still relevant when this video comes out. So I'm kind of freaking out that I did this on May 18th and it's June 11th right now. But to answer the question if my points are still relevant or not, they aren't as relevant because he did move to Japan. And he's been doing a lot more videos about that. So I wish that he held off a little bit until, you know, whenever this shit goes live, whenever that happens. Thankfully, he did still post 2 reaction videos, so my point is still kind of relevant, just not as relevant as it used to be, unfortunately. What made me hate this video so much? Well, at the start of the video, PewDiePie talks about how he's finally moved to Japan, which he's wanted to do for 3 years. He made a couple of videos telling us that it finally happened, and that creates so many opportunities for new content. It doesn't have to be the same shitty cycle of reacting to already really popular videos of stuff from his subreddit anymore. It can be something more worthwhile and meaningful. And it's ironic how I got my answer to what the future of his content would be when I watched the first 30 seconds of his video.
What kind of videos is he going to make now that he's in Japan? Checking out convenience stores, going to different tourist spots, trying out the local foods. No! Reddit. I am going to react to my subreddit.
It just feels so sad to hear that because PewDiePie himself laid out everything that he could do in Japan. He could show tourist spots in Japan. He could show food in stores in Japan. Maybe even show some problems that Japan has to raise more awareness about them. It might not be the right idea for his channel since it's more entertainment based, but if PewDiePie did that, then the problems might actually end up getting fixed. It's a possibility. But nope. Fuck that. We get to go back to the same content of just reacting to stuff that other people have already uploaded. And I'm just so sick of that content. I know that the "is React content good" question has been thrown around a lot, and I want to say that I think React content is fine. I've done React content in the past too, but I think the main difference between me and other React content is when it becomes unhealthy, when it becomes the main focus of your channel. That is when it becomes bad, and that is why people get so mad. And as a YouTuber myself, I hate seeing how other big creators can just react to something and get millions of views. It's a really annoying feeling because it's content that is lazy and stupid easy to make. I can't speak for other small YouTubers, but personally I've made videos that have taken 2 weeks to make, and those videos are fucking exhausting. They take so much energy and so much time, and for it to only get like a couple hundred views is a really depressing feeling. Then you got PewDiePie reacting to TLC, which gets a couple million views, and it just fills a pit in your stomach. But again, React content can be good, and I think the best example, in my opinion at least, is with Moist Critical. When he reacts to content, it doesn't even feel like he's a React YouTuber because he commentates so frequently that the video becomes entirely different. The main focal point is no longer on the video Critical is watching. The focal point is on Critical himself, and it makes for a really entertaining experience compared to other YouTubers that just end up making the videos do all of the work. React content can also just straight up raise awareness for whatever the creator is reacting to. Small creators can grow if a big creator watches their content, and you can also react to robbers so you can teach your viewers how not to live your life. But when all you do is react to content that doesn't teach anyone anything and it feels like the video is doing way more work, is when react content becomes a huge problem. Jacksepticeye also struggles with this, where a shit ton of his videos are just reacting to TikToks or funny videos. It's especially sad in his case because Jack has had some banger videos where he talks about his life without saying a word, or he has a skit where he talks to his twin brother. I'm referring to 15 Months, which is one of his best videos. It's a video that shows what it's been like having chronic health issues during a global pandemic where he's at high risk. And then there's the skit of him talking to his douchey twin brother who's not actually his twin brother. But he hasn't done many more of those types of videos. I don't think it's as bad since he's been doing more Let's Plays, which seems to be what people are interested in. But with PewDiePie, it doesn't really feel like there's an obvious positive to his React content. He almost never reacts to small content creators, so people that could really use exposure aren't getting any. He mainly reacts to stuff like Jubilee and popular shows that are already doing well, and it just ends up feeling like people are watching his content not because it's good, but because it's PewDiePie. But it doesn't help anyone get exposure, and it doesn't really help raise awareness for an issue. It just feels lazy. I'd really like if PewDiePie would do something more creative because he's one of the creators that doesn't seem bad. He just isn't doing much right now, and yet people keep watching him. That's what I want a lot of React YouTubers to fix. I want them to make their content more meaningful and not just something you watch to have the time go by faster. And now back to alternate dimension me. I don't really have a clear conclusion for this video. I just wanted to touch on some problems with some creators, and that was pretty much it. If I wanted to give these creators some advice, because you know me, advice giver Logahart, I would just say the Dobre Bros, maybe get some therapy, just please stop being so douchey. For MrBeast, I was thinking that maybe a reality TV show could be better for him because I didn't touch on this a lot, but he has a lot of over editing in his videos on top of the annoying amount of music and subtitles. So maybe having a reality TV show would be better than just having like a YouTube video that is so over edited to make it feel less boring. And then PewDiePie, I think he's actually going in the right direction for right now. Hopefully he doesn't keep going back on the React content. But I mean, I think that he should just do more big stuff, more something bigger. Or just do some more Japan videos for right now. Those aren't annoying. Those aren't React videos. They're not lazy. They're just fine. And that's completely okay. Thanks for watching my video. That was a lot. I'd appreciate if you give the video a like, maybe even subscribe if you really liked the video. I'm gonna take a break. I really just wanted to talk about some problems I have with some creators on the platform, and if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Just don't take it out on me, please. Just accept that, like, hey, we might disagree. It's fine. That's it. Hopefully you have a good day, night, wherever you are. And yeah, bye.